any role plays, any? I knew Miss Carla would be the first.
Actually, I'm not going to be the first today. I was going to say that's the topic that I wanted to work on today. So
What
that's it.
the handling
Yep.
objections? Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Okay, what about you, Bernice? I see your
Um, Initial greeting
initial
for,
greeting.
yeah, for a person that has a team.
Okay, so initial greetings. Can you elaborate a little bit more? What do you mean? So
Yeah,
you're
I
talking to
start,
somebody who has a team, or?
yeah, and they put the team in where they should have been answering. They say, well, I have a team and I don't think that's going to be good for the team. Yeah, I don't think the team would like it, but they are not giving them opportunity to say anything. They're just giving the initial greeting that no, they won't be interested in it.
Okay,
And
so give
I
me.
know I had talked to a couple of people at the place and they were interested. So I know she didn't talk to them.
Okay,
I
so this is
knew that was her idea.
so let me clarify. Is this an insurance agency, or what is this?
It is a school of insurance.
Okay, so it's a school on insurance, and
It's a school, they just teach insurance there.
So Bernice, are you talking about like these are students and
These are
and and
students.
and the person who said that they're not interested is acting as a spokesperson?
Yes, but the majority of people at the school have jobs or probably looking for it. These are young adults to older people. You know, it ain't like school kids going to school. These are people with responsibility, understand responsibility,
Right.
understand what they need to do to take care of responsibility.
Right. People who are going through continuing education courses.
Thank you. That's a better way of putting it.
okay, so I'm back, but I'm on my phone this time. so uh, so I obviously it's not working on my laptop, so we're gonna go with the phone instead. Okay. So it's a school for insurance agents, and she's saying that she doesn't believe the agents are going to want to do it. So so your objective, that's an objection, right? So basically it's an
Right.
objection then that you're getting from this lady before she even, and that's it's like it's almost it's a smoke screen, right? Because it's just like if you're stepping into a business and you're saying, hey, can I talk to the owner? And the owner is always going to come with, I don't know how it's going to play in my market, always, right? So um what you want to do is ask for solutions. Well, no, you may, of course, number one, you have to what? Agree with her, right?
Yes.
Even if you don't.
Yes.
So you want to agree with her and say, okay, I absolutely understand where you're coming from, right? And then you say, how about I do this then? Why don't I have a meeting? I set up a meeting, and it could be, you know, it could be in person, or it could be on a Zoom call to make it easier for you, and your clients, and your team. And I can go ahead and share, what I have, and then we can, see how many people that you have that that really like what they hear and would like for you to bring it into the office.
Okay.
So don't take my word on it. Take the word of your team who is going to be on this call, and they can tell you personally whether they like it and whether they would like to bring it into, right?
Okay.
Before you start.
I'll try that. Uh, don't do that. I'm only alive.
Mhm. So basically, you're going to now market to those people first, right?
Right.
And that way, because she has a school, or another way you could do is go in there, set up a table to share more, like a little, what I call,
The information table like.
yeah, like a little information table at one of her events or one of her lunch and learns or one of her classes, where the agents can stop by, and if they would like more information, they can actually sign a sheet that says, hey, this sounds really great, I would like more information on it. And now, after, because every time somebody comes up and talks to you and you talk to them, they can sign this, they put their name, email, phone number. It's kind of like a sample table, right, where you're sharing sampling of your business to them. And if they like it and they say, and they want to bring it into a full, like a full presentation to listen more, they can sign it and say, yes, I would like a class to learn about this. And now you can come to her, and then now you can say, okay, see, you have about 10 to 20 agents that decided that they would like to learn more. So can we go ahead and put together a Zoom or an in-person class for them? And once once she if she says yes, then great. If she says no, you got a list of agents that would like to do it. So I would touch base with them outside of it. Hey, you know what? The owner decided not to bring this into the school. However, if you would like, we can do a one-on-one, and I can show you how you can add it to what you're already currently doing. So now you have taken you have a list of leads.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
So even if the school doesn't bring it in, you still have some agents that have shown,
Interest.
yeah, that shown that they want to learn more and know more. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. Okay. Anybody else want to test something before we get into the actual objections training? Okay. Any script you guys want to work on? Your scripts that you have going out there?
Dale hand is raised.
Oh, I can't see. Thanks. Sorry, I'm on the phone. Okay. Hey, Mr. Del Boudreaux, what do
Hey,
we
Miss
have?
Angel. So, first of all, congratulations on 2000.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you.
I think it's fantastic, man. I really do. Secondly, I want to thank you for the script for networking, because this week they had a home show like 30 minutes from my house down in Monroe, in West Monroe. And they had all these, it was a home show, so it was all these vendors that build homes, that supply. I mean, look, the first guy I hit was an automation security system. The second guy I hit was a water filtration system. I mean, yeah, it was. So I kind of modified the script you had for networking, like going to networking events,
Mhm,
because what I really wanted to do was just connect with these people. I wasn't going over there to try to sell them something. They just spent
mhm,
$500 to $700 on a booth to sell me something, right?
mhm,
I want to go over there and, you know, show all my knowledge. Let's put it that way.
mhm,
So the script that you had for networking, I just modified it, like, I'm looking for referral partners. I like that part. And then I'm looking for businesses that want to collaborate with five vertical businesses in the home essentials.
Yes.
It's pretty cool because I came across this digital marketing guy that worked for the local TV station. And he asked me what I did. That's the answer I gave him. And then he goes, "Well, what five verticals businesses are you in?" So I told him, and then so I showed him how we do. We are just brokers, right? I said, "Look, man, I don't own all these solar companies and all. I just brokered a deal. I set the customer up with the number one installer in the United States, and I said we do the same thing with security." Then I showed him a video of the security, and the dude flipped out. I mean, like he totally flipped out because I started talking to him about if you had a daughter and she was going to college. Well, guess what? He had a daughter in 3 more months is going to be going to college.
Wow. There you
So it's
go.
like, you know, I love that you did that training because before I went over there, I went through that script you had and I had it in my brain. So it was really cool that I went over there and I connected with, oh my God, listen to this. I connected with 20 people like personally.
Hmm.
They gave me the book that had over 300 and something from the Home Builders Association, the book of members and all the vendors that was at the event, the company, who owns the company, the phone numbers to everybody that has the company. I mean, I got like, I don't know, about 400 names out the whole deal.
All right.
So I'm gonna
Yay.
be busy for the next, millennial because you did a training on networking. So I just want to thank you so much for that and doing what you do right here because man, like I was so totally comfortable going over there talking to these people, man, it wasn't even funny. And it was because of all the training we've done and all the role, man, you and I, we've been on so many role plays, but it never hurts to do another one. And it
Yeah.
never hurts to, and then, Miss Sabrina, I got to tell you too on Saturday morning call, and then the call we had when you was at, look, y'all are just fantastic, man, because everything that y'all do, I learned from, I added to what I'm doing, and it's become better. And then when you wind up in a situation, you got all the tools ready to go. You just standing there with a toolbox full of tools ready to go. You ready for anything that anybody has to throw out at you. I got guys that want to take me fishing. They got their boats ready. I mean, it was the craziest Saturday afternoon I ever spent, man. It was nuts.
I
So
love
I
it.
mean, I literally got people that want me to go to their house and cook for them, man. It's unbelievable. So they got the Boudreaux experience, man, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But I couldn't have done it without all your help, man. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dale. And yes, you took it and you made it the Dale Boudreaux experience, and that's where the connection is, right? People can only teach you the scripts, but you have to be the connector. You have to learn how to connect with people because you can say, everybody can run with the script, but if you don't know how to connect to people, then that's where where it is, right, where the road ends. And so you have that ability already to connect to people, and and from all of the trainings and tools that Mr. and Mrs. Bean have put in our belt. We're like, Batman is like, which one should we use right now? When we go to these things, it's like, which tool should I pull out of my belt for this event, right? And so, thank you for sharing that, and and that's the one thing that, like you said, right? Role play is everything, and we need to role play every day. So, I get lucky because I get to role play because I role play with my brand new people all the time. If they're coming in, we're gonna role play how to talk to somebody. We're gonna role play how to do a launch call. We role play everything. So if you ask anybody on my team if they role play, they're gonna role play. because because I can't send them off without them knowing exactly what to do and testing it as well, right? Because you have a you go out with an idea, but then when it comes to time to do it, if you don't practice it enough, then you'll get stage fright. Everyone does, right? And your mind goes blank and you don't know how to do it. So we role play over and over and over. And if you watch the rally calls, that's what they do. They're like, nope, stop, start again. Nope, stop, start again. And they do it to where I just had a role play with Christina the other day, a realtor in California, and she brought the script, and I said, okay, how do you feel about this, right? So I helped her write it. She went out, she talked to 5 people, and she was like, "Ooh, I didn't get a really good outcome from it." Okay, come back. Okay, I'm on the call right now. So you're calling me. What are you doing? And she's like, "Good morning, this is Christina." Da, 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 da. I said, "Stop. I know what the problem is." Stop. I said, "Stop. That's it." And she was like, "What?" I said, "You're not having a conversation. You're doing what everybody else does. Talk until they hang up on the phone with you. So you got to pause and have a conversation." So we did it. Okay. So start over. She said, "Okay, great morning, Angel." Nope. Pause in between that. Okay. And she goes, "Great morning, Angel." And then I said, "Great morning." Then now you go. you know? And so we did that. And it only took like 10, 15 minutes to do this role play. And by the end of it, remember, she was reading. So it sounded so scripted at first. By the end of it, she was so flowing. Like she was really having a conversation. I said, "This is it right here. How you're talking, how you're conversating. This is what you were supposed to do." And so she went back out. She talked to 5 more people with how we role play. And she said, "I got a lot better responses. They were really nice to me this time." You know? And I said, you know, that's what the role play is, because sometimes we don't know how we sound to the other person, right? And so you have to let a third party tell you. But the thing with cold market, when you're talking to people, they're not going to tell you that you're crazy, or they're not going to critique you, right? They're just going to get you off the phone. But that's why role playing here is going to help you, because now we can see what the problem or the challenge was. And once we fix that challenge, you'll be one step closer to closing, right? And so that's the reason why I want to work on objections, because I know right now a lot of people are getting a lot of objections. And I want to help people handle it to where it's simple, right? Actually a simple process to objections. And once you know the process to handling one objection, you'll know the process to handling all objections, right? So thanks, Dale, for teeing me into the objections,
Hey,
because that's
no
where we're gonna
problem.
go. That's where we're gonna go next. Sabrina, if you could share the screen. Well, I've been having internet problems all day. But I said, nope, I'm still gonna train even with them. So I'm on my phone. So hang on for Sabrina to share the screen for you. So handling objections, right? Screenshot this if you do. Step one is to listen to them. Okay, so when you're asking them, okay, what are their concerns? Say, let me write this down. Right? These are things that you can say to them to let them know that you're listening to them, right? Because you want to listen when somebody tells you a concern. So let me write this down, or please tell me. I got it. What else? Tell me more, right? Thanks for sharing. Tell me everything, right? So you want to sit when they tell you an objection, even if it's like a pyramid scheme, right? Well, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. Sure. Please tell me more. What what part of it is sounds like a pyramid scheme to you, right? Ask them these questions, right? And so that they feel that you're listening to them. Because the first thing when somebody says something you don't want to hear is defense mode. Like, what are you talking about? I don't what do you mean? Right? Let me try to defend. It's not a pyramid scheme. Well, all companies are pyramid scheme. How do I know? I used to say that. right? When somebody would say pyramid scheme, I'm like, well, everything's a pyramid scheme, right? And I was wondering why they weren't listening to me. Why? Because I didn't listen to them first, right? So now I changed it to where, okay, I see where you're coming from. So tell me more. What do you mean it's a pyramid scheme, right? And they'll tell you, right? There's certain things that they think, or maybe they just say, I don't know. I just heard this and that, right? But you are now drawing it out the more questions you ask, right? So first step is always listen. Make sure you're listening, because a lot of people don't listen. They just go on defense mode, and then they start what? Replying instead of listen. So first is always listen. Then on the next slide, we're going to go to the next slide. The next slide is to acknowledge. Okay, so first we listen to them. Okay, tell me more. What do you mean about pyramid schemes, right? What do you mean you're too busy, right? What do you mean you don't have the money, right? Tell me more, right? And so once you listen to them, step two is acknowledge. You're right. I agree with you. I can see that. I'm in total agreement, or I feel the same way, or I get it. I've heard that before, right? Agreement. You want to listen and then you agree. You see, once you listen to them, now they feel a little bit more comfortable, right? You've broken that barrier, right? That wall. And then now you agreeing with them. So that allows them to now open up, right? Now they're open to listening to what you say. And that's the main thing, is that what we're doing is we're not opening people to listen to what we say. Instead, we're fighting them off. But what we want is we want to get on the same page so that now they're open to listening. And right here, by acknowledging, that's where they're now going to open to listen, right? So once you acknowledge, we're not going to go through that because you already know the acknowledgement drills. Um, but we're going to go to the third part, right? So the third step, after you acknowledge, you listen to them, then you acknowledge, and then you isolate. So isolate means that a person may have multiple concerns, right? And so you want to isolate each and every single one. You want to address their problems, right? It's just like, you go to a psychiatrist or a doctor, they have to diagnose and address every single symptom so that they can what? Right? So that they can find the answer. Same thing here. You have to diagnose every single objection they have, because they may have more than one. They may have several reasons why they don't want to get started, or they have several reasons why they don't want to purchase or buy something. So isolate. What are your other concerns? So they told you one thing, right? They said it's a pyramid scheme. And then what other concerns do you have, right? What else bothers you? And now you should always be having a pen and paper when you're talking to people, because you should be writing down what it is that they are objecting to or their concerns. So, maybe they said, well, it's a pyramid scheme, and I don't have the money to get started, let's say, right? That's two objections, right? And then another one is, I don't know if I can do it, right? So they're telling you three things. One is, sounds like a pyramid scheme. Two, they don't have the money to get started. And three, they're not sure if they like sales, right? So that's the third one. Now, do you once you write those down, right? This is isolating it. So now you have to isolate. So if a person tells you three objections, you write it down and you make sure that you touch every single objection. So let's talk about the pyramid scheme, right? You want to handle that first, right? So I know one of your concerns is a pyramid scheme, right? So let me ask you a question. right? What is a pyramid scheme to you? Oh, okay. When everybody at the top makes all the money, right? Similar to a CEO, right? Similar to the VP, right? And then that's one, right? And then number two, your other concern was that you don't have enough money. So let's talk about that. Do you not, when you say you don't have the money to get started, it doesn't mean that you don't really have the money or that you don't see value in putting the money towards this. Right? Because when people say I don't have the money, it doesn't mean they don't have the money. They just don't see enough value to put the money towards this. They they see more value eating a steak dinner for $200. Just saying. Right? So now you know that that's what you need to work on, showing them the value, right? Then and there's lots of ways to show you the value. I mean, let me ask you this. Do you currently have a business? How much do you think that costs to open up a business? How much did I asked a roofer the other day? Let me ask you a question. How much did it cost you to open up your roofing business? Oh, about $10,000. Oh, really? Okay. $10,000. You have to get the materials and everything like that. Okay. So what if I told you you can add these other five verticals, including solar, including water, alkaline, for just $200? That's it. But you're gonna make thousands of dollars in sales. It's like, wow, right? So you got to show the value. Now I address that objection, right? The value. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Now he has the other, the third one, right? Which was, I don't think I can do it, right? So let's take that roofer for example. Okay, you know, okay, Mr. Roofer, right? So you don't think you can do it. Are you already door knocking? Yes, I am. And you're going around every day door knocking and talking to homeowners, correct? Yes, I do. And you're selling your roofing services. Yes. Well, what if they're not interested in a roof, but they're interested in saving money on their electricity? They're interested in learning, drinking clean water. What if you can do this simultaneously without changing anything that you're doing throughout the day? Does that make sense to you? Because all you have to do is refer to our company, let us handle the rest of everything else, and you just worry about your roofing jobs. Does that does that work for you? Absolutely. Right? So I showed how he could do it. So now, Mr. Roofer, now that we've already taken care of the pyramid scheme, we've already taken care of your concern with the money issue, and now we took care of your concern of whether you can do it or not, right? Are there any other concerns you have? And you wait. And if there's another concern, you address. But if there's no other concern, now you just said, now he's just gonna say, no, I think that's it. Great. So then, right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that you love what you see, but you need more information, and 10 being that now that all your concerns are solved, you're ready to get started today. What number are you? And you let him say whatever it is. It could be a 2, it could be a 5, it could be a 7, it could be an 8, it could be a 10. And you're just going to say, great, I love it. Now, if it's anything less than a 10, then you're going to say, well, how do we make it a 10? Right? So that means that there was another underlying concern that he did not say if he's not a 10. So how do I get you to a 10? And now he's going to share with you how to get him to a 10. Right? So these conversations will help the client be transparent with you. No more, not knowing what the client is thinking. No more, I don't know if he's ready or not. You're asking these questions, and you're getting to the meat and potatoes of the answer, so that you know exactly where they stand, and it makes it easier for you to move them through to the next step. Right? Oh, I'm a 5 because I need more information. I mean, everything is fine. I just need more information. Great. Done. What type of information do you need? Great. You know what? What type of information do you need? But in the meantime, I would love for you to to learn more about us. Let me go ahead. Do you have Facebook? Let me go ahead and add you to this group. It's called High Ticket Wealth. What I want you to do is go in there, kind of shop around to see if it's a fit for you before you make a decision. Right? It's called ATM. Put them in the ATM. They're going to see all these trainings. They're going to see boot camps. They're going to see all of this. Any information you need, it's in there. And I'll check back with you in a couple of days. Go ahead and shop around. No worries. Take your time. So if you're not adding people to high ticket wealth, you're losing out on money, because people like to shop first. And if you have people who are don't know if it's for them or need more information, the best place is there. They have so much information there. Right? You got to plug them in. You can't plug them into the bill. You can't really plug them into the team chats and stuff yet, but they can shop around in our high ticket, where they're going to see a lot of great benefits. Right? They also see our boot camps. I mean, boot camps fire us up. So what do you think? Most of these people don't have those type of things in their lives right now that will help them, not just in this company, but in they're going to find value outside of this company. And that'll just draw them into this company, right? Because when a person finds value in something, they're going to want to be a part of it. So add value to them before you ask them to be a part of what you're doing. It's always about adding value first. So let's go to the next one after you isolate. Now remember, isolate means you have to have a response for every objection. Don't go without, because if you don't answer the objection, it's still gonna be on their mind, and there's no closure, right? So if you have no closure, then they're still not gonna get on board. Step 4 is validate, right? Validate. Because this is what I was just talking about, right? Because if they give you a 5 after you've already answered all their concerns, then the last thing to do is, what's your real objection then? What's your real concern? There's got to be something else, because I've answered all your objections and yet you're not getting started. So that means that there's something else you're not telling me. Right? And so some of these things, like when you say that, what do you mean? Right? So just getting clarity on some of their concerns, right? Because if you haven't fully answered their concern, then that's the reason why. So you got to validate it. Validate that that's it. What's your real objection? No, I'm just, well, I need more information. You're going to pull it out of them, right? Like if you're going to tell me no, I need to know why. No. You can say no, I don't mind. But I need to know why. Right? Why do you say that? You want to know why, because when you know why, then you can what? Then you can be better, right? Then you can learn from it. So I always say, yeah, no worries. Why? And I may not address it on that call, but I may address it on the next call. Just depends on the person, right? Because there's always gonna be what? Follow up. I don't I don't you you talk to someone like you want them to, to get started. But I don't talk to them like it's the last call I'm ever gonna have with them. That I gotta sell them right now, or there will be no more calls or no more opportunities. For me, it's just if it's not the right time right now, we'll have another call later in the future. Right? It's just a not now for me. So I want to know what it is not now. So this person says, because I'm too busy. So I like this, right? Yeah, okay, busy. And so I said, that's why we need to get some more time back, right? And let's just say they're still like, yeah, I'm just too busy. I got so many things going on. Yeah, no worries. I get it. Okay, but thanks. I appreciate you telling us. 6 months later, they tell me they're still busy, right? Doing the same thing, but they're still complaining they don't make enough money 6 months later. That's when I'm like, okay, right? Let me answer that objection again. Well, that's why I was telling you 6 months ago, let's get some of your time back. Are you ready? No, I'm not ready yet. Okay, great. A year later, right? A year later, hey hun, it's been 26 million without you. Are you ready now? Right? 85% goes back to the field out of that 26 million. Now, we're friends. I'll call you again, but you're still a year ago, you're so busy and still living paycheck to paycheck. So I think it's time. 26 million, we're heading into 1 billion, we're going international. How much longer do you want to wait on the sidelines? See, as you progress, those objections are the reasons that they will get started. If you keep on following up and following through. So, any questions on this? I think that's the last slide. Is there another slide? Oh, I think there's one more slide. Determine the type of objection, right? So this is an internal process. So when you're talking to the buyer, you want to know why he's objecting, right? The buyer's objecting. So if the objection is valid or invalid, right? So there's product, price, terms, stalls, or time. So it could be about the product. Maybe they don't like the product. It could be about the price. It could be about, not here, doesn't, terms don't really apply, but there could be stalls. Like sometimes they're just stalling, right? Which is what some people call a smoke screen, right? It's just stalling. They're not real objections. They just want to stall because they're not ready or time. For people who are busy, I'm like, well, let's get you some time back. If you're sitting on these residuals, you'll definitely get some time back, right? We have an answer. We have a solution to every problem or every challenge. You just have to take the time to learn the script on turn, how to solve that challenge for them. That's it. And the more you work on the role plays, the more you work on problem solving like this, answering objections, the more you master it. I mean, there's really nothing anyone can do except just tell you flat out, like, okay, Angel, it's me. I just can't do it. And then I said, okay, great. No worries. Right? I was telling the story the other day about one person, and she's a dear friend of mine. She's been in different companies with me. So this is the first one that she's very introverted, and so she does not talk to anybody but her sister. But I know, but I said, man, just having this membership, you can actually just use the smart money because you want to learn about smart money and stuff and do it yourself. And she said, that's a good point. And then I said, and then plus now with the new vacation, right? They say we're going to have a free vacation every year, right? We can cash in our membership fees for a free vacation. And she said, Angel, I don't like traveling. I don't even travel. I love it when my family travels because, like last year, remember they were gone for a whole month and I sat at home. I did what I want because she has like three boys and a husband. So she's always running around doing games and sports and all kinds of stuff, right? So that whole month she got to stay home and didn't do anything. Nobody wanted food. Nobody wanted dinner. It was just her and herself. And I said, you know what? Then you have to do it and get that free vacation. And she said, what do you mean? I don't like to travel. I said, because now you can cash it in for them to travel. So you can have a free month every year. And she goes, Angel, that is so good. She's like, you make a good point. And she started laughing. She's like, you need to share this story because this is really too good. See, and that's when you have to become a great problem solver, right? For them. And and so now, I mean, cash it in so your family can go on vacation and you can have your feet up in the air every single year, you know and so it's just a funny story. But when you can master these objections, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to help your clients make a decision uh, sooner than later. So I hope you guys had learned a lot from these. Do you have any questions from here?
Hey, Angel, I got a question.
Sure.
First of all, great training, man. The second one about, so look, I was that guy, man. I would just go throw up on somebody. And I just left a bunch of dead bodies in my wake, man. Because if you told me no, I just immediately flipped the page and went to the next one. I didn't even, it wasn't even I wouldn't even sit down there and listen to the objection. I would just run them right over. So this whole system that you put in the front of us, man, is just great. My
Mhm.
question, so it revolves around. We ever thought about like taking the scripts we have and put them in a repository somewhere so somebody's got like access to all the scripts? Because
Uh,
like it took me an hour to go find that. It took me an hour to go find that networking script.
yes. Great idea. So we should start putting it in. I actually was thinking about, putting something together. So I'll see what I can do to put something together where we can
So
have
I was
every-
thinking like on the high ticket our Facebook site,
Mhm.
they got a files section. You could put files on there.
Yes. So
So
that, but yeah, we're gonna work on that because the team is growing big and fast, and so we do
yeah.
need things that will be, easily accessed. So I'm trying to find some downtime to do it.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to give
um,
you more work, man. I'm just trying to say
no,
that
no, 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 no. It's
that would
actually,
be a good, man, if I could just
what
go to
I
one
do for
spot.
what I do for all of y'all interns, blesses me as well, right? Because we all can use it. It's a
Mhm.
great leveraging tool. So it's something that, let me see if I can get with Mr. Bean and see what he wants to put together I'll put it, the rough draft together and see what he approves and what he wants to add into
Yeah,
that.
that'd be
But it
great,
would be
man. That
good.
would be fantastic.
Yeah, we do need like a resource file where you can get access to a lot of things that may be needed when someone first starts, right?
Right, exactly, man. That was exactly my point because I had somebody start like yesterday. And what's the first thing to ask for? Scripts, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I got scripts everywhere. I gotta go in my pile of papers. I gotta go over here, and I gotta go. So,
Mhm.
I just thought about, man, if we had a repository and like realtor scripts, networking scripts, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. We're
I
gonna
appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thanks for the training. I got to hop off. I got a presentation. So I
yes,
appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I look forward to the next role play. I'm coming with some scripts.
yes. Role play it out before you talk to other people, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I thank
amen.
y'all.
Thank you, Dale. Anybody else have anything before we hop off?
This is
Carla.
really, hi, I'm sorry. This is a really impactful training, Angel, and gave me some food for thought in terms of other ways in which to shift, not really to shift, but to solve the challenge, right? When you were talking about how your friend really doesn't want to be around a whole lot of people and is happy for her family to travel so that she can get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
That was smooth. That was a smooth operation in terms of, you know, getting her to see it from a different perspective. So that was good. Thank you.
Yes. And as you role play more, because think about it, when you role play with your team, when you role play, and if you do, I would suggest like even having like just a five, or if you have an accountability partner every day. Because when I first started GCU, Tanya Lawrence and I would do 5 minutes every day. She would, after the rally call, she would just call me up and say, "Great morning, Angel," and she would just head into the role play, and then I would respond, and then I would go back, and we would just it just took like maybe most like 15 minutes, and
Mhm.
it was done. But we got better and better every day, right? As we were doing it. So find yourself a role play accountability partner, and just do that. Just call each other up and say, "Hey, Carla, great morning," and just go into your script.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. But that's the main thing. If you become a great at problem solving, then you'll be able to help more people, right? Because the
Mhm.
world has a lot of challenges, right? And so when you can be help people solve their challenges, that's when you're going to number one, number one, get that trust factor and connect with people because they want to be around people who give them solutions and not more problems, right? Now, the negative people, they don't want solutions to their problems. So then you weed them out, right? Like, hey, don't come around me if you're going to talk about your problems, but you don't want solutions, So, okay, bye. You can't be in my circle. Right. And then that's keeping everybody in your, that's going to give you a great, a great circle, because now you have circle of people who don't mind, um, don't mind, being solutions finders instead of the opposite, right? And I know this because in 2013, when I actually was still working in corporate America, that was all that was around me. A bunch of people whining and crying about the company, the boss, their coworkers, and those conversations. I'm glad that they're. I don't have those conversations anymore, or I don't. I'm not around those type of conversations anymore, right? Because it was what brought you down, to be honest, and kept you there in what they call the rat race, right? But because of those type of conversations, and now the conversations that I have with people is all about dream building and vision building and see what we can do to expand and explore and explode. It's like, whoa, this is cool, right? Don't you love
Yeah.
that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody else before we hop off? I've got a lifeline, so we'll
Okay.
definitely we'll see you in 2 weeks. And, at any time, you guys need any help with role play or your scripts, just let me know.